Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 290. Oh, yes, we're getting towards the very, very special 300th episode of Molehill Mountain, which will probably be exactly like episodes 299 and 301. Do I have anything special planned? No. Should I do anything special? I don't know. We'll see what happens that week. Pretty sure we are way past what Super Podcast Action Committee did. Let's, how many episodes of that did we have? Let me look real quick. Oh, I'm Andrew, by the way. Hello. Alright, here's Super Pack Podcast. We had 186, so we're way past what we had with Super Podcast Action Committee. So, how's about that? Okay. So, I hope you all had a lovely 3-day weekend, if you had a 3-day weekend. And if you only got a 2-day weekend, I hope it was lovely as well. Mine had its ups and downs. Now, on last week's podcast, you heard me regale you with the tale of my Wii, my poor, broken, dysfunctional Wii. Using my incredible quality assurance skills, I narrowed it down to the AV port on the back of the box. So I took it into the repair shop, dropped it off, went home. They called me back and they said it needs soldering. I said, all right. They said, you're going to have to come pick it up and take it out to Chula Vista because we don't do soldering here. I'm thinking, do you want to borrow my soldering iron? But anyway, so I drive down, I grab the box, I take it out to Chula Vista, and I learned it's going to be $150 for the labor. I said, well, how much, if the part has to be replaced, how much is that? They're like 20 or 30 bucks. So $170, $180? Nah, I could get a refurbished unit for $70. I forgot to tell this last week, but they also have a warranty plan where for like 20 bucks a month, they'll fix whatever for free. You have to pay them to get them to fix stuff for free. And so he's like, okay, well, the first month is free, so after a month, then we'll fix it for free for you. What they don't tell you is that you have to sign up for a year. So, that's $220 to fix it. No. So I bought a replacement Wii for 70 bucks. And I can just copy all my saves over, so no big whoop. Now, on my way home, the wheel well guard on the front driver's side detached from my car frame and shredded itself against my tire as I was tooling down the freeway. Not a whole heck of a lot you can do while you're driving, except I guess stop. But I didn't know what that noise was. So this was a Saturday afternoon, later in the afternoon, which meant that too late to take it into the shop to get fixed. And they're closed on Sunday. And they were closed on Monday because Monday was a holiday. And I wanted to go see Doctor Strange on Tuesday night, but yeah, that wasn't going to happen because I had to take my car in instead. So Tuesday I take my car in and to Kearney Mesa. And I started telling them what I'm there for. And they're like, oh, well, you should go in there and talk to the person at the counter. I'm like, that's new. Oh, okay. Talk to the person at the counter. And they're like, great. When would you like to make an appointment? Now, please. Oh, we don't have any open spots. I'm like, oh, you're that busy, huh? Well, I mean, okay. What times you got open? And she said, what did she say? She says, well, the first one we have is the 8th. I'm like, next week? You are booked solid for the next week? I didn't use that tone, but that's what I was thinking. Because it's, I mean, maybe they lost a lot of employees. That can happen. But I've been going there for years, and I have never had to make an appointment. That's new. So I drove out to El Cajon and walked in and had my car serviced. And how much to replace the wheel well guard? $150. How much to just bolt it back into place so it's not shredding itself against my tire? Free! So I'm like, is it safe to drive? Do I need to replace it, or can you just affix it back to my car frame? I'm like, it's fine. Great. I'll do the cheaper version then. Thank you. Also, they recalled the latch on my trunk, so I figured since I was in there I'd have them replace it, but they didn't have the part. So I have to go back if I want to get my trunk latch replaced. Because if I ever get trapped in my trunk, it might not open from the inside. Not likely to happen, but man, certainly don't want to be in that situation where I'm trapped in my trunk and going, I really should have taken it in to be replaced. I got 2 warnings in the mail that the trunk latch had been recalled. Yeah. Now, if you watched me play Lego Jurassic World on the Wii U last Sunday, you noticed that at one point during the stream, is there really nobody watching at all? Please, if you're watching, just say hello in the chat. I'm curious to know if anybody is watching, because my numbers say 0 and no one has said anything so far, and that's never happened with this podcast before. Even though this podcast for the last 4 weeks has been doing like 5 times better than it normally does for no discernible reason. I mean, this podcast is getting several hundred views every week, when normally it gets several dozen, like maybe 80 to 100. Now it's getting multiple hundred. I'm not sure why. But yeah, if you're watching live right now, please say hello in the chat. Let me know you're there, because my numbers all say 0, which is fine. I mean, this is recorded for you all to enjoy later, so I will just yammer endlessly. That's no problem. I am a verbose young man. So, as I was saying, last week on the Sunday stream, I was playing Jurassic World, and at one point the whole thing crashed with a message on the screen that says the USB hard drive has been disconnected. And I looked. No, it hasn't. So I restarted and kept playing. Well, I played more Lego Jurassic World, I think, on Monday. Thinking, you know what? As they really made some poor design decisions in this game, but it's a pretty fun game to just kind of veg. Once you know how to work around the weird stuff, it's a fun game to veg out to. Well, that USB error happened a couple of more times. So I went down and I put my hand on the USB drive, and it was hot. Like, oh dear. So I turned everything off, unplugged it, let it cool down, turned it back on, and the Wii U would not recognize the drive. So I pulled the entire thing out and started exercising my QA skills, and I found out that the enclosure that I had the hard drive in was not getting power anymore. This one was a real easy one to figure out, because there's an indicator light, and when I turned it on, the light would go on and then blink and then go off. So, I mean, that could also be a bad LED on the indicator light, but a couple other tests confirmed that, yeah, the enclosure's just not getting any power. So I bought a new enclosure. That's $25-$30. Not terrible. And found out that my hard drive was still usable, but corrupt. So I had to format it. Luckily, there were only... most everything I've ever had on the Wii U is on the Wii U's internal memory. I only had to re-download a couple of games. And I lost my Lego Jurassic World save. I'm not restarting that game. I'm not playing it from the beginning. So, that game will forever go not 100%ed. Because, yeah, I'm not restarting that one. So that's a shame. Oh, a friend of mine at work has an extra Wii. So he says, hey, I'll drop it off at the office and you can come pick it up. So I can return the replacement I bought. So that saves me $70. So that's nice. So I saved, I got a new Wii from a friend. Just had my wheel well guard bolted back into place for free. So that's nice. I mean, gas is like $6 and El Cajon is a ways out there, but it wasn't entirely free and took several hours, but pardon me. And the new hard drive enclosure is $25, $30. So yeah, that not the so two broken consoles and broke pieces of two different consoles and a car on my 3-day weekend. But I did manage to get to the drive-in on Wednesday night, and I saw Doctor Strange, which I'd wanted to see. See, it the first 3 weeks it was double featuring with itself, and well, I didn't want to watch the movie twice, just once. So I waited until it was double featuring with something other than itself. In its fourth week, I think, it double featured with Uncharted, which has been out of the theaters for a while. But I saw that when it double featured with Spider-Man after 10 weeks. And I didn't really care for Uncharted. So I waited again. Well, this last week, they paired it with the Bob's Burgers movie, which I have no interest in seeing at all. I've never seen the show, but I've seen like clips and stuff, and I've not liked what I've seen. I find the character design utterly repellent, and the jokes not funny. I mean, I recognize what the jokes are. I recognize that they are jokes. I just don't think they're funny. But I'd never been a big fan of South Park either. And I like the South Park movie, so I was like, just because I have no interest in the movie doesn't mean I won't like it. And my sister's chomping at the bit to see the movie. And I know a lot of others are huge fans of Bob's Burgers. I'm not saying I hate it or dislike it. Never seen the show. It's just never done anything to encourage me to watch. So I'm not going to spoil anything. So I went to the drive-in Wednesday to see Bob's Burgers and why can I never get the title right? Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I don't think... I have heard that Bob's Burgers, the movie, is just like the show. So if you're a fan of the show, you're going to like the movie. Not a fan of the show, movie's not going to change your mind. I'm guessing that I won't like the show because I really did not like the movie. I found it very, very boring. The trailer for the movie shows like one clip of one of the kids kind of dancing awkwardly, and I thought, is it a musical? Are they doing the same thing that South Park did, and it's a musical, but they're not going to advertise it as such because for some reason they're afraid to advertise me? You want to get me to see a movie? Tell me it's a musical. I'll probably go see it. I have no idea why advertisers try to hide the fact that a film is a musical. Maybe a lot of people hate musicals. I don't know. Anyway, yes, it's a musical. It's not a good one. In fact, after the opening song, I thought to myself, I guess it's not a musical? They just did one opening song? Okay. Because the second song doesn't come up until, I think, 30 minutes into the film. Which, for a musical, is a long time to go without a song. And there's really only 4 or 5 songs in the movie, kind of depending on how you count. I do appreciate, however, that the songs are all specifically arranged around the vocal range of the individual actors. It's very clear that the various characters, their parts, are written specifically for the voice actor's vocal range. Because they know that most of these actors are not singers, so they wrote it to be comfortable for them to sing, and that was interesting to see. Unfortunately, the melodies are not particularly memorable. The soundscape, the instrumental soundscape, is dull, lifeless, nigh absent. Songs aren't memorable. Their structure is not very good, although I do like the openings. I do admire that the opening song does a fugue. So you have Bob and the woman he's married to singing a part, and then it switches to the kids, and they're singing their part, and then it switches to someone else, and they sing their part, and then you have all of them singing on top of each other doing a fugue, and it's like, oh, that's clever, that's cool, I like that, that's nice. Just like the I hate the character design. I find it, as I said, utterly repellent, just completely off-putting. I can't stand it. I can't stand looking at it. It's ugly to me. Not poorly drawn. It's fine. In fact, they had more budget with the film, so the art is more detailed. The animation is smoother than it is in the show, as you would expect for a higher budget. But I really hate the character design. I don't like it. It does not bring me joy. And the jokes aren't funny to me. It's not that there are no jokes, and it's not that they're bad jokes. They're just not funny to me. I found some of the background gags kind of amusing. Some of them. Like, there's I forget what the joke is, but there's a store next to the Bob's Burgers location, and it's a pun. And I was like, oh, that's cute. That's about it, though. I found the movie incredibly boring. I also really, really, really can't stand most of the vocal performances. Let me clarify that. The performances are fine. I can't stand the voices that some of the performers are choosing to do. Like, John Benjamin, who, if you've seen Archer, you know the guy who does Archer. Same voice. He's just doing his natural speaking voice. That's fine. But, like, all three kids and Bob's wife and the dude that one of the kids is crushing on and some of the other characters, all the actors are putting on these really annoying character voices, and I don't know why. Because it's like it's like jamming a razor wire wrapped railroad spike directly into my ear canal for 100 minutes. Why would you do that?
I mean, imagine if I did this voice for the entire podcast!
That would be annoying. Why would I do that? I mean, it's a voice. I don't know why I would choose to use that voice, because it's annoying. It's weird. You have one character, you have John Benjamin, who's doing the his regular voice, and then most of the rest of the cast are doing really weird character voices that are as ugly as the character designs. To me. Your mileage may vary, and it seems it does for a lot of fans. So I can't stand looking at I can't stand looking at the movie. I can't stand listening to most of the characters talk. Again, not a problem with the performances, just the choices they're making for the character voices. And the jokes aren't funny. So I was pretty miserable for 140 for an hour and 42 minutes. I really did not enjoy the movie. So I guess Bob's Burgers is just not for me. Multiverse of Madness, on the other hand, I thought was fun. It, sadly, watching it for some weeks into its run, I think there was only one thing that wasn't spoiled for me. I think I had there were absolutely no surprises in this film for me, unfortunately. I mean, other than like specific character moments and dialogue and stuff like that. But I felt that the you know how No Way Home really didn't give away much of the movie? Like, almost everything in the trailers before the film came out was from the first act of the film. Multiverse of Madness was pretty much giving you the entire thing from the get-go. I mean, I would have saved some of that. But then again, it probably all would have been spoiled for me because I didn't go see it the week it came out because it was double featuring with itself. I didn't want to watch it twice. Still a fun movie. I don't know if Wanda's character arc follows from what happened in WandaVision. Something I'm still thinking about. Like, does that really work? I don't know. America Chavez was pretty underutilized. She had nothing to do. My prediction, if you don't want spoilers, don't go looking for it. But I had a guess as to how America. I had made a small prediction about how the general plot would work out in this movie, and I was exactly right. So, yay me. Unfortunately, America Chavez has not much to do in this movie. Actor's fine. I mean, the character's fine. I look forward to seeing them in, future Marvel movies. But I mean, it's not her movie. It's not the America Chavez movie, so it's not that big a deal. But yeah, she really didn't have that much to do. But overall, I enjoyed it. So glad I finally got to see it. Would have been nice if, and to be clear, what spoiled me was, Marvel, interestingly, or I guess it was Sony, waited like 10 weeks before they spoiled the big thing that was secret about Spider-Man No Way Home. Marvel was pretty much right out in front like 2 weeks in. But the weekend the movie opened, YouTube was like, hey, would you like to see clips from Multiverse of Madness that people filmed on the theater, off the theater screen using their phones? No, YouTube. No, I would not. I would not. In fact, you shouldn't be platforming that stuff. No. And again, a lot of that was the biggest problem. Because people are like, here's a character in the movie, and we're just gonna put it. We're just gonna put a picture of him right here in our thumbnail, so you can't unsee it. Oh, thanks. That would have been a fun surprise. Bummer. I try to be considerate. I fail sometimes, but at least I try. Oh well, Bob's Burgers not for me. Still, Doctor Strange, I enjoyed. So let's talk the PlayStation State of Play, which was this week. And I really didn't know until it was airing. Not great advertising there, Sony. I didn't even know you were doing one. So it opened with Resident Evil 4 Remake, which, it's cool. Resident Evil 4 is a phenomenal game. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the few games I've actually replayed because it's so good. I hope you do something very different with it. I hope it's not just a prettier version of Resident Evil 4, because then what's the point? I guess a prettier version and reaching new audiences, which is fine. But if it's the same game again, just prettier, I'm not buying it. But if it's seriously reworked, yeah, sure. Although, I would be more interested in a remake of Code Veronica. There's a game that could use some retooling. Resident Evil 4 is fine the way it is. So there's not much to fix. There's plenty you could do different, which I might find interesting. But not a whole heck of a lot to fix. So it'll be interesting to see what... that's not coming out till next year anyway. But, yay, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil Village, which I still haven't played, is getting VR support. So, cool. I don't have VR, so... And VR didn't really even hit its stride till, like, the pandemic, so I've never even demoed it. And I'm not going to, like, Fry's Electronics to stick my face in into a helmet that other people stuck their faces in. So... The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, Retribution. I would assume there's a Chapter 1. Also a VR game. Let's shoot zombies. Okay. No Man's Sky, a game I just don't understand the appeal of. Never have. Also VR. Horizon Call of the Mountain is a VR game where you play some dude and wander around smacking the robotic dinosaurs. Okay. Maybe I'd be more enthusiastic if I had VR or played VR, but I haven't, so I'm not. Spider-Man is coming to the PC, along with Miles Morales, so yay. The only thing I was actually looking forward to is Stray, the game with the cat. Not a very good trailer because it makes the game look boring. Looks like there's nothing to do. You know, at first it was like, ooh, a game where you play a cat, great. And now it's like, okay, but what do you do? Do you just walk around? It's time to show what... I mean, it comes out in July. And it comes out for free if you are a PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Gold Plus. What is it? It's the PlayStation Plus Extra membership. You get it for free. That's not a good sign. That's a red flag. It's not a guarantee that the game's garbage, but when games are launching for free, that's a really bad sign. That is a red flag that the studio has no confidence in this thing selling. And it's a game where you play a cute kitty. So, how bad is this game? Maybe it's great. I hope it's great, because it has a kitty. It's something I've been looking forward to since it was first shown off a year or so ago. And this latest trailer did nothing for me other than it's got a cat in it. And they're like, oh, it's coming this July for free if you're a PlayStation Plus Extra subscriber. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, that's... Again, it's not a guarantee that it's bad, but that is a red flag. We'll see. Callisto Protocol, survival horror game, comes out in December. Sure, looks like Dead Space. Everyone loves Dead Space, except those who don't, so sure, it could be good. Roller Drome is Tony Hawk with guns. So, you are roller skating around a... roller skating? Yeah, it's roller skating. So you roller skate... So I guess aggressive inline, except I think the roller skate's not inline skates. They should have made more aggressive inline games, because that game was good. You know, it's interesting. I'm just kind of marveling over the fact that no one is watching. I've done, I think, 500 podcasts over the last decade. That has never happened. I keep checking the time. I'm like, it's Saturday at 7, right? Yeah, I am streaming, right? Yeah. I mean, I hope you're all having a good time. You know, you're not required to be here. It's okay if you were busy, if you just didn't want to. It's okay. It's just unique. Something that's kind of weird because it's never happened before. especially since this podcast has been getting really good numbers for the past couple of weeks. Just kind of odd. Anyway, what was I talking about? Roller drum. So you wander around on roller skates in a skate park and you shoot everyone there because they're trying to shoot you. So it's kind of like Manhunt, I guess. You know, you're on a game show, or Running Man, something like that. You're on a game show and you have to kill all the peoples. So I don't know, it could be fun. Eternites, which is a anime-styled action game with dating sim elements. Who knows if that'll be any good. Street Fighter 6 appears to have a single-player 3D environment, walk around and talk to people mode. That seems like a horrible idea. Because I don't think anyone... That just seems like the... I mean, if you're going to make a spin-off game, sure. But as a component to a 2D fighter, you know, it's 3D models, but it's on a 2D plane. That's never worked before. That's always been a bad idea. Will Capcom make it work? Maybe. We'll see. There's really not enough information in the trailer to go by along those lines. But I'm not saying it can't be done. It just hasn't yet. So, Capcom, the floor is yours. Impress us. Other than that, we've got Chun-Li and Ryu versus two other people who are new. Okay, it's Street Fighter. Tunic, which came out a while ago, is coming to the PS4 and PS5. I didn't realize it wasn't on the PS4 and PS5, but apparently not. Hits the PlayStation in September. Season, A Letter to the Future. I don't even know what to make of it. It's about a character who wanders around and does stuff. I don't know. I wasn't really clear. It's being described as an exploration game. Looks like it might be narrative heavy. Hard to tell. I wasn't getting a good read on it. Final Fantasy 16. I don't care, but I know a lot of people do. So it looks like Final Fantasy. It's big and expensive looking and flashy. I'm sure it's fine. But that was State of Play. Kind of left me cold. I actually would have been more happy if Stray, the cat game, looked better. But yeah, wasn't calling to me. What's next? So, Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 3 premiered. The Episodes 1 and 2 premiered last week on Friday, so I figured they were just releasing on Friday, but no, Episode 3 premiered on Wednesday. Oh, okay, sure, whatever. I think Miss Marvel's next week, so we'll be watching Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4 is next week. Is it going to take a detour and we're going to see what the Mandalorian's doing? Is it just going to ignore Kenobi and Leia and everybody and just go see what the Mandalorian's doing? What Mandalorian and Baby Yoda are up to? That'd be funny. I'm still a little meh on the show. It's fine. I'm enjoying it for the most part. Yeah. I found Episode 3 really interesting though, because it had a bunch of issues that I was surprised to see. So, spoilers for Episode 3, I suppose. Leia and Kenobi are stuck in, I don't know, Palm Springs, somewhere out in the California desert somewhere. And they hitch a ride with some dude. Some truck drives by and they're like, hey, ride to the nearest spaceport. He's like, yeah, hop in the bed of the truck, no problem. And they get in the bed of the truck and Kenobi spies an Imperial flag bumper sticker. And he's like, dun dun dun, oh no. Which I think is a really funny idea. That some guy driving a pickup truck has an Imperial flag bumper stick. Well, it's not a bumper sticker, but it's a Imperial flag insignia bolted to the back of his truck. So, the same idea, though. I thought that was a really funny idea. And Obi-Wan's about to get in, and he slowly looks, and the camera pans over. And, it was set up so we know what the Imperial flag looks like. And say, oh, no. I'm like, okay. And then it just keeps pushing in on the flag. I'm like, we got it. And then it keeps pushing in on the flag. I'm like, oh my god, we got it. Does not trust its audience at all. I'm like, the visual language of that shot directs your eye to the flag. You don't need to zoom in on it. Oh my god. Oh, it's this really awkwardly long push in on the flag. You see it? You see the flag? The flag that's there? It's the Imperial flag. You see it? Yes, show, I see it. Good God. So, the Imperial flag guy takes the Obi-Wan and Leia to an Imperial checkpoint. And, so Obi-Wan, they're like, get out of the back of the truck. Obi-Wan comes out, and he's being held at gunpoint by 2 Imperial stormtroopers and an Imperial probe droid, which we all remember from Empire Strikes Back has a blaster on it. So he essentially has 3 people standing in front of him pointing guns at his face. There are 2 more. Well, there's also the guy driving the truck. There is another guard on the other side of the truck near where the gate is, and another guard up on the tower above the gate. He has the high ground. So, there are at least 4 stormtroopers and an Imperial probe droid and the guy driving the truck. So Kenobi slowly starts reaching for his gun, which is on his hip, and I'm thinking, how's nobody seeing this? And he draws down and he shoots the probe droid and somehow doesn't get shot in the face. Then he shoots both stormtroopers. Somehow he has 3 people pointing a gun at his face, and he's able to... Oh, you don't see what I'm doing. You don't see what I'm doing. Ha-ha! And shoot all 3 of them. And then he turns around and he shoots the other guy. And then the guy who has the high ground, which we know from Revenge of the Sith is very important, he just shoots. And then another stormtrooper comes out of nowhere and holds Leia hostage. And Obi-Wan just shoots him in the face. So Obi-Wan just took out 5 stormtroopers and an Imperial probe droid and the guy driving the truck. He hits him in the head. And so he turns off the barrier, and out in the distance, a troop transport shows up and dumps off 3 stormtroopers and an Imperial officer. And they're way over there, out in the open. Obi-Wan is standing by a lot of things that he could take cover behind, and he gives up and puts his gun on the ground. It's still a fun action scene. It's just not very well conceived, because it doesn't make any sense. The initial bit where he... change it to he's being held at gunpoint by 1 stormtrooper at the back of the truck and the Imperial probe droid. And Leia distracts the stormtrooper, and Obi-Wan uses that distraction to shoot the probe droid, and the stormtrooper's like, what? And uses that to shoot the stormtrooper, and now he's in cover behind the truck. And now you could have 1 more gate guard, and then it would make more sense for Kenobi to be like, oh crap, there's like 4 whole people coming at me. Something, anything. Come on, guys. So, they make a new friend and they go into a town. And there's buildings lining a main street. And they go into a building. And then they go into a room in the back of the building. And turn left. And open a door which leads into a tunnel. Which makes no sense because that door should just go outside. They didn't, go down a flight of stairs so it's underground. No. They go... But the room is like the size of this room. Pretend there's a door back there in that wall. They go in the door, turn left, and against that wall is a tunnel. I don't know how that's possible. Now, there is a mountain behind the buildings, but it doesn't look close enough to actually... It doesn't look like these buildings are, butt up against the dirt. They could have gone down a flight of stairs. They could have moved the mountain or something. Just not very well thought out. Oh, they enter the building. It's high noon, maybe 3 in the afternoon. And they talk for a couple minutes. And then they go look outside because, Vader just shows up. And it is 10 o'clock at night. Not very well thought out. So, Obi-Wan says, okay, new friend, you take Leia and you go down the tunnel, which leads to the spaceport, I guess, and you get out of here. I'll lead Vader away. And so Obi-Wan leaves the shop and runs down the street away from Vader and runs into Vader. Vader, as we all know, is never in a hurry. The man walks everywhere he goes. I have no idea how the hell he got on the other side of Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. There's also a shot, I think this is a 180 degrees rule issue. There's a shot where Obi-Wan Kenobi is looking around and then he exits screen left and then he enters screen left. I think it's a 180 degrees rule issue, but it looks like he exits the screen and then he's oh, I forgot my keys, and then turns around and then walks back. It is so weird looking. So, Leia and new friend are running down the tunnel to the spaceport. Reva, whatever her name is, the third sister Inquisitor, has found the tunnel. And she's like, oh, goody, I'ma get me some rebels. And she goes into the tunnel. Oh, no. But new friend and Leia are in the tunnel. They better hurry. And Leia and new friend stop. And new friend says, you keep going. I'm going to go back and make sure Obi-Wan's okay. And she goes, okay. And so Leia keeps going down the tunnel. New friend goes back the way she came, and so you're thinking, oh, they're going to kill off this character immediately. That's a shame, because she's going to run into Reva. I guess they just passed each other in the tunnel and said, hey, and they just didn't know who each other were. Maybe there's more than one branch of the tunnel? I don't know. But they certainly didn't cross each other's path somehow, because in the next scene, new friend is outside helping out Obi-Wan. I don't know how the hell she got out there without passing Reva in the tunnel. That makes no sense. Huh. Meanwhile, Leia's running down the tunnel. She gets to the end and she runs into Reva, who was there waiting for her. So somehow, Reva ran down the tunnel, didn't see new friend who ran past her. Reva kept going, ran past Leia, who didn't see her somehow, got to the end, and then stood around and waited for Leia to show up, who she just passed in the tunnel. Jason Voorhees is watching all this going, but that ain't realistic. So, those are some odd issues to have. That's the kind of thing. Now, it's possible that I just missed something, and maybe I'm just interpreting what I saw incredibly incorrectly. Maybe someone said, "Oh, there's several paths in the tunnel," or there's a line of dialogue that I missed that explains that I'm going to take the side door. Something I don't know. Maybe. If not, though, oh man, that's really lazy. So not a bad episode. There was a lot in it I like. But there was a lot of stuff that stuck out as, why did you do it that way? Were you not thinking? Did you run out of time? Did you not care? Did you think no one would notice? On the other hand, I'm the only one who seems to be complaining about that. I've seen no one else bring that up, so could just be me. It could just be me. So, that's all I have to talk about tonight. And since there's nobody watching, we'll call it early. So, if you happen to see this tonight or very early tomorrow morning, I will be, of course, streaming a video game tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time. And what will I be streaming? I will be streaming Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, the uncensored version. Oh, yes. Yes, we're going to see vagina bones. Which is the, if you don't know what vagina bones are, it's the internet's pet name for an artistic riff where a particularly fit character has definition separating their hips from their abdominals. It's basically just, if you have a character with low pants and a bare stomach, lines are drawn right here to denote the separation from the hips and the abdominals. Those are vagina bones because the internet. When Tokyo Mirage Sessions was brought to North America, Tsubasa's vagina bones were erased because they're just too racy, I guess? So anyway, we're going to play the version that doesn't do stupid things like that. There was also other weird things like she has an outfit that's essentially like a bra with a jacket over it, and then they put a shirt on underneath. Which, I mean, yeah, she's 17 or something like that, so okay. But she's also in a swimsuit in other parts of the game, so it's just so we're gonna play the uncensored version, and then next week, week after, I believe we will be starting in on Trails in the Sky the 3rd. So I think this will be the Tokyo Mirage Sessions tomorrow, and Trails in the Sky the 3rd the following week. And I think what I'm going to do is the first Sunday of every month we'll do some game that's not Trails, and then every other Sunday will be Trails. So every Sunday is Trails except for the first weekend of the month, which will be something different. That's subject to change. It's what I'm going to try for now, I think. Maybe. We'll see. So, for those of you who are watching later, I hope your day or evening or night or whatever is going smooth. And thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.